Sanjay Dutt, Director at Quantum Securities, joins us now in our Market Masters segment. Good morning, Sanjay, and a very happy Diwali to you.
Morning, Lata. Thank you. Same to you all and to all the viewers. Hope the next year is booming for them.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you. Will it boom? How does summer 2072 look to you? We have notched up 26% gains from the previous Diwali. Will the next Diwali bring something like a 20% gain? Is there a 10,000 on the Sensex or a 30,000 on the 30,000 on the Sensex and a 10,000 on the Nifty given?
Lata, like I always said, that I don't want to game the Nifty or the Sensex levels. They will appreciate, but I can't say 20%, 30% or 10%. But to me, there are phenomenal opportunities in the market. Fundamentally things are changing. Business sentiment has improved, and I think numbers would follow now. Very good news flow decisions within India from the policymakers are coming in. Of course, there are only global headwinds that we need to worry about. But even then, I think India will stand out as a market across the globe, and particularly in the emerging markets, I think India would stand out. There's no doubt about that. So I would focus more on individual opportunities than whether Nifty gives me a 20% gain or the Sensex gives me a 20% gain. I can't game that because, amongst those 50 stocks, what gets weightage and what keeps going where, suddenly IT falls off the cliff or oil and gas goes to the roof. So it's very difficult to game that. But look at individual opportunities, remain invested, build a good portfolio. And Y20, you may have even 50 to 100% gains by end of next year.
We hope what you hope comes true very fast. Sanjay, hi, good morning. Happy Diwali to you and your entire team. Every Diwali we wish each other and then we lament on the lack of participation from the retail community. This time around, do you think things are different? Is retail back into the market, or is there still a left out feeling that you're getting from the people you speak to?
There is a left out feeling, there is skepticism, and I think that's got to do a lot with some of the regulatory issues that need to be sorted out, because in my personal opinion, to get broader retail participation, a lot of regulatory changes, a lot of issues need to be ironed out to bring about to ensure lesser volatility in the market, because I think volatility is the biggest enemy of the retail investor. He just cannot game it. And, we need to find ways to make the markets and the price discovery mechanism much more transparent and stable. And that's what is plaguing our market. If you see, with such a large market cap, stocks with 2 lakh crore, 3 lakh crore, 1.5 lakh crore market cap, and they move 5 to 10% just in a jiffy, it obviously means that there is something wrong somewhere structurally. And this is what really keeps the retail investor out, and he's totally unnerved by this volatility. So hopefully, I think, but I see the regulators are understanding this, are taking the right steps, and once these steps start falling in place, we would see a broader participation, and retail would also come in. And in any case, retail has a mutual fund route always to come in, whether it's the SIP, which obviously is the best option. But I think regulatory issues are the biggest stumbling block for much wider retail participation.
Fair point. Let me come back to ask you to help our investors, help our viewers make their stock selection. You were an early bull in the banking space, the PSU bank space, and that's brought in good money. From now to the next Diwali, would banking once again be an outperforming sector, or what would be your pick of the Sensex stocks as the leaders?
I think oil and gas is going to be the next big game, because show has just begun. So if you want to pick a Sensex stock, I think Reliance is a no-brainer. People are obviously disappointed with the gas pricing formula as far as Reliance is concerned, but people must understand that this is just the beginning of it. You can't expect a country like India, a democracy like India, to suddenly, solve all problems overnight. But these steps government has taken, are in the right direction. So issues concerning Reliance, gas pricing, as they impact Reliance, etc., those would also be resolved. A lot of other issues. In fact, people are missing the main point that diesel deregulation biggest beneficiary is actually Reliance and the other private oil marketing companies, which would come back into business, who had mothballed their retail facilities, unfortunately, which were set up many years back. So I think that's the big play in the Sensex, Reliance. And in addition to that, moving away from the Sensex stocks, I think there are a lot of other opportunities which people are missing out when they're looking at, the so-called convergence e-commerce boom that we're looking at. And in those, I think integrated media plays will be the biggest beneficiaries, because if you look at the advertising bucks that are being spent to promote, the online space, if you look at, they're basically the broad media companies are the biggest beneficiaries of any growth uptick that economy is hit with, or anything new that comes into the economy, and that means aggressive advertising and brand building. So I think media is one place where people should start focusing on now. And we have very few companies in the space, and they'll be the biggest beneficiaries. And similarly, logistics companies.
Okay.
So, I think oil and gas, logistics, media is what is getting me a little excited this point of time, and which market is not looking at. Of course, market is looking at oil and gas, but the other two space, I think market is ignoring at this point of time.
Actually, it's interesting you say logistics, because we were making a stock-wise analysis of year-on-year gains. If you had bought Gati about, say, November 3rd, that is last Diwali, you would be sitting on 630% gains. So, have some of the stocks already run up? What is your pick in the logistics space?
I think there are many more. There are a lot of smaller players which are coming up. TCI is one of them, which is doing a lot of work. There are a lot of others which are coming up. I think some other IPOs will come up also in the next 6 to 12 months. I'll just give you an example of what I'm personally experiencing. One of the largest logistics companies in the world. I had bought something online on 10th of this month, and today is 22nd, 21st, and to date they've not been able to deliver it because the kind of backlog these people are running because of all these Diwali dhamakas and whatever sales they'd had. So this is one space where there's going to be phenomenal opportunity, where people will have to start looking at where companies have their businesses focused on. So transportation logistics, I think, in the country is going to be really big in the next few years. And similarly linked to this, the biggest beneficiaries are going to be media.
So what about some of these e-commerce plays, names like Just Dial, etc.? I know over there valuations are a big question mark, but there's so much opportunity in that space as well.
See, Sonia, we always, as lay people, we always try to look at opportunities that seem very obvious to us. Yes, e-commerce does look good. You can invest in an Info Edge or something because there will be unlocking of value. There is a talk of Zomato, etc. But I think one needs to really big money is always made in the byproducts of these plays. So that's the reason why I'm thinking of opportunities where companies are backbone providers to these plays. Mostly backbone providers are a few 5-10 companies who kind of provide services to them. So that's the reason why logistics I picked up one, and a lot of others people can analyze and figure out as to which are the ones which would really benefit from this so-called e-commerce boom that we are talking about, and it's for real. Similarly, payment system providers, because see the kind of opportunities that is there for payment gateways and other companies, the way their business will grow, which obviously is linked to financial services. So those we don't even realize that that 50 paisa, 2 rupees, 3 rupees per transaction that goes away to these transaction companies. And that's real big money if you just add up to millions of transactions.
Okay.
So investors need to focus on those companies and pick them up more than just looking at the obvious in-the-face e-commerce plays.
What has been in the face also have been the auto ancillary and auto companies, simply because of the big gains that these mid-caps made. I mean, I don't have to remind you of Bharat Forge or the Motherson Sumis and such like. They've rendered such big gains. What will be the auto ancillary of the next Samvat? Will it be cement, any of the cement stocks you like? Will it be any of the... why don't I dovetail this with a question that has come from Money Control? There is a gentleman by the name Bala Subramanian from Chennai who is asking what is the outlook for Exide in the long term, the only dog stock that didn't participate in the auto ancillary run.
I think the outlook is positive. Of course, you will have these, periods where some stocks don't do well because of certain specific issues. But definitely, it looks good. But auto ancillary space, I have a peculiar problem with that space, and that space has got to do with margins, because these auto ancillary companies, particularly the ones, the tier 2 ones, very rarely manage to get the pricing power or the liquidity from the vendor, from the buyers. In the sense, they're always squeezed because of margins. Because wherever a telco or a Bazaar or anyone is buying from them, is always squeezing them with margins. So they don't leave much on the table for the ancillary manufacturer. And similarly, most of their credit cycles also get a little prolonged from time to time, and payments get stuck. Okay. So in that space, that worries me, because the pressure for the end product, that's the vehicle, to be competitive, quality issues, they worry me. Bharat Forge is a different story, because Bharat Forge, went on and became a global player, did a lot of other different things, and was not just a pure play ancillary, as we can call, an Exide in India, etc. So auto ancillary as such I like, but I'm very selective in that. As a broad brush, I can't say that auto ancillaries will do well.
All right, Sanjay, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for your time, and you have a great festive season and a great year ahead. We'll, of course, speak to you many times in the next couple of days and months.
You all too. Thank you so much.